Most people want to feel healthy and fit, but they keep choosing comfort over change. Even when they hate the results, a long day hits, stress shows up, and what happens is the plan becomes optional. And that's why progress keeps stalling. And it matters right now because the longer this pattern runs, the harder it feels to restart. And aren't you sick of restarting? I was thinking, a happy, healthy, fulfilling life, it's not built by wishing harder. It's really built by being willing to do what your future self, we're going to talk a lot about future selves here, but what your future self needs, even when your current self wants to exit, wants an escape hatch. A lot of people hear that, they hear this and they think, wow, that's going to be some extreme workouts I got to do. That's going to mean I've got to really dial in my nutrition. That's going to mean I totally need a personality change. And we overthink, we make it a big deal. And this is where people quit before they even begin. That happened to me over and over again. What I really realized was even when I had the perfect ideal plan that would work for me and my schedule and all that stuff, my brain was always constantly scanning for an escape hatch. It was looking for a crack and a flaw in the plan to where I could go, this won't last long. Now, I didn't say those words out loud, but that's what my internal thinking was happening, so that eventually I would let myself off the hook. Here's the flip. The flip is not becoming intense or really doing anything extreme. It's really just becoming radically honest with yourself. Willingness starts with one clear truth. Every goal has a cost, not monetarily, a decision cost, a time cost, a comfort cost. So if you want a different life, you have to pay a different cost than what you've been paying. And you're still paying a cost. Many people are paying the same costs every day without even noticing it. We'll see if you can relate to this. Extra scrolling, that's a cost. Extra snacks and treats, that's a cost. Extra staying up late, that's a cost. Extra avoiding your goal, that's a cost. Extra waiting until life calms down, there's the cost. That happens to a lot of people that I've mentored over the years. And these costs, they create a life that feels really heavy and hard and in this little cycle, on again, off again, on again, off again. I'm on the wagon, I'm not on the wagon. Willingness grows when you stop asking, what do I feel like doing? And you start asking, what does the future, my future self, what does it need from me today? That question changes behavior fast because it stops negotiation. Now, I get it. A lot of times we talk about a future self and we leave future self out there in the future. That's future self's problem because you don't have to deal with it. That's not getting radically honest with yourself. We can get in this habit of, future self, that's the cost of future self's problem, right? This podcast is going to help you shift your thinking. And if you want help in identifying what's been blocking you to go toward your goal and you're following through and building a plan, I want to help you. Head over to talktoperry.com. Let's help you set some clear standards that really stop this daily debate and stop this daily negotiation. Boy, I was in that vortex for a long, long time. Head over to talktoperry.com and we can help you get through it. Let's talk about this willingness. Willingness is not a personality trait. It's really a skill. And if it's a skill, it can be trained. So start with a hidden problem that you want to go for. So here's a hidden problem that most people have. They lack follow through. The goal is often vague, but the comfort is very specific. The comfort has a clear plan. Eat what feels good, skip what feels hard, delay what feels stressful. Just not today. I just can't deal with it today. And we put it off till tomorrow. That was me in my negotiations. I would drive home, an hour commute. You can have a long, long conversation with yourself. And I'm getting home and saying, you know what? I've got this to-do list. I've got these things. And really, I'm not feeling up to it. And gosh, it's leg day. Why don't you know what? I'll do it tomorrow. I'll make up for it tomorrow. And I would create this false promise and keep moving things till tomorrow. I realized I was doing this negotiation. It was a habit. So a vague goal cannot beat a clear habit. You may have even said it before, I just want to tone up. I just want to lose some weight. I just want to get in shape. Those are not clear goals. Many people don't get clear on what that means. Now, internally, they'll say, oh, I know what it means, but no, they don't. And the clear, vague goal, you won't go after. It's just a vague fantasy of an idea around it. Clarity makes your willingness easier. One specific outcome, one simple standard, one simple time window, and one basic food plan. Well, that was me. My specific outcome was I was going to finish my workout. My simple standard was I would show up and start my workout and commit to at least 15 minutes almost every time I finished it. One clear time window was right when I got home after work. And my basic food plan, I started shopping differently so I didn't have temptations all over my house when I wanted to self-sabotage. I would never say I want to self-sabotage, but when stress kicked in, I was looking for the munchies or something. That food was not accessible, but I kept it very, very simple. Too many people, they try to change everything at once. And I get it. There's some people out there is like, I got to do it all or nothing. And what ends up happening is you fail and you go to nothing because nothing feels comfortable. So when people go to change everything at once, they feel overwhelmed and they tap out. A willing person chooses the next level, not every level beyond, just the next level. What's the next level I need to get to? That's what I would do. I would do my fitness and do a plan for 30 days, knowing that I'm going to go to another level after that 30 days. Not, I'm going to be done at 30 days. I can't wait to be done. No. From this day forward, I'm going, So that was me when I realized I kept talking myself out of exercise. And so I never showed up for making up for it the next day. Standards matter more than the hype. And standards, they sound something like exercise happens even if it's on busy days. That's what I started doing. Crazy busy day, big to-do list, not feeling into it. Exercise still happens. Now, I can hear you. You're probably trying to build a case against that already. That's the crack in the flaw that you're already trying to figure out so you don't have to show up and be responsible or accountable for it. Call yourself out on that. Because a standard, it sounds something like, hey, you know what? I'm adding extra protein. I'm adding water in. I'm doing these things before I have a snack. A standard sounds like, you know what? Bedtime is going to support my energy. Setting a standard, it really removes the drama. And a lot of times people think if I set a standard, I'm limiting myself. No, you're not limiting anything. You're eliminating the drama. And you won't need to look for motivation. Willingness means planning for the version of you that shows up on the hard days, not the version of you that just shows up when it's a fresh morning and you're feeling all into it. Your hard days still count. And I'm not saying that every day is a hard day, but you show up on the hard days, you show up on the easier days, you show up when you're not feeling like it, you're showing up when you feel like it. And just make it a simple meal, a tighter schedule, a protected window. Progress keeps growing because the plan, it still exists. You're still going after your goal. Many people say, you know what? I know what to do. I'm just not doing it. And it's not because you don't know what to do. It's just you haven't gotten into the habit of conditioning yourself. When you think of exercise, you're conditioning muscles. The muscle development doesn't happen overnight. You're conditioning it. You're getting stronger over time. Same deal with your habits. A new path, it begins with a planned response. And you got to make that planned response happen fast. So a walk, a shower, protein meal, 10-minute workout, water bottle that's filled and finished, a calendar that's blocked for tomorrow. Now, I'm not saying you need to do all those things. I'm just giving you ideas of keeping things simple. And speed matters as opposed to sitting and thinking about exercise or thinking about doing these things. You take action right away on it. And that, because old patterns, they love delay. That's your comfort zone calling you back. When you start realizing you're delaying things or you're just thinking about it or you're wondering and waiting for the motivation, that's your old conditioning trying to keep you stuck. Willingness, it grows when you start keeping promises to yourself. And you don't have to make big promises. You just keep those little promises in small, direct ways. My little promises, I'm sticking to my grocery list. I'm showing up for my exercise every day. I'm doing a mindset ritual. I'm listening to empowering audios and podcasts on my drive to work as opposed to mindless radio shows. Okay? Willingness is also strengthened by a better definition of success. What's your definition of success? Because a willing person treats success like a response quality. How fast did I return? If I drifted off course a little bit, how fast did I get back to it? How fast did I adjust? How well did I protect my plan, even when life got messy? So the goal is not to become someone who never struggles. The goal is to become someone who does not quit when struggle shows up. Ooh, that's a big one. A goal is to become someone who does not quit when struggle shows up. So many people, we become master quitters. I haven't become a master quitter, but many people have. A fulfilling life is built around daily choices that match your future, not your mood. I'm going to tell you what, when you start matching your future, your mood will change too. But health becomes steady when your standards replace negotiation, and happiness, that grows when you protect your energy. Oh, and confidence. Confidence returns when you start doing what you said you'd do. You've got this, my friend. I'd love to hear your top takeaway from today. Drop those down in the comments. I promise I will reply. You absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to talktoperry.com. That's talktoperry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear, what's going on. I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day, I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness. I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff. And we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to upsidedownfit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find this show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know, you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast, and always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.